Hi, my name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Purl, P-E-A-R-L, podcast episode number 12. Today's title is Fiber Fun. On social media, I am One Fine Cow on Ravelry and Twitter. I am One Fine Design on Facebook and Etsy, and I am Doris M. Smith on Instagram. We also have a Ravelry group, and that group name is Knit and Purl Podcast Group. We have 21 members this week with one new member, and that member is LMECOLL, who is Linda, and she is from Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Welcome, Linda. Thank you for joining the group. And on YouTube, we have 50 subscribers now. So I just want to say to the Ravelry group and to the subscribers on YouTube, thank you so much. And I want to say thank you for coming back. If this is, you've been here before, thank you so much. And if this is your first time coming, I say thank you. I hope you enjoy yourself and, use this as a time to just relax, sip on something warm or cold, and do your knitting while you listen to me. So, in this group also, we have a July Finished Objects contest thread, and the rules are that you must be a member of the group, the Knit and Purl Podcast Group, to qualify for prizes. The items must be completed in July. There is no chatter on the project thread. There is a chatter thread so that you can encourage and chatter away. You can have as many entries as items finished, and double dipping is welcome. So if you are doing a knit along or doing a different project in another thread, you are welcome to come over here with your project and post it in this thread as well. Prizes for the end of, it'll end on July 31st. I'll close the thread. And prizes will be, the winner will receive, that's terrible. Prizes will be an item of the winner's choice from my Etsy shop, $20 or less. And that Etsy shop is onefinedesign.etsy.com. There will be a link in the show notes. The show notes are at knitandpurl-doris.blogspot.com. You can find the show notes and a link to that shop, or you can just type in, the search in Etsy, ETSY, to find my shop. And I will be doing updates so that there'll be more things to choose from before the end of the month. And that is all of the administrative stuff. Wow. That was a mouthful. And I did it all in 3 minutes. Wow. Okay. So when I started my podcast, I started with a story. And the reason why is because it's so funny that it seems like I always have a story. Somebody would ask me, so how was your weekend? How was your trip to the doctor? How was, the wedding? Whatever. It seems like there was always a story. Well, let me just tell you what happened or something like that. And so I was talking to a friend about how I was going to start a podcast and that I would use, since I always have a story about something, that I would use that as part of my podcast. However, this week has been uneventful. It's just like working, trying to get through the week and, do your appointments and things that need to be done, babysitting and all of that. In all of that, I don't really have a story this week. So, I'm a new spinner. I got in case this is your first time watching me, you haven't seen the other episodes and the fact that I got a ladybug spinning wheel for my birthday in May. So I'm a new spinner. And so I thought for this week, for the story, I would show you how I prep my fiber before spinning it. And I need to preface that with saying that I learned how to do this, and this is what works for me, but I learned how to do this from YouTube. So I'm going to do that now. So just going to show you how I prep my fiber. So here's a bundle of fiber. This is half because I have a hoe this week. I have partial, this is finished, partially finished. So I would normally get the braid and I would unwind the braid. I'm going to put it on the floor. And then I would split it. So this is like, we'll pretend that this is the whole braid. And I just kind of try to eyeball and even, and I would just split it. And I would continue to split it down the middle. It's very simple. Just split it down. In this fiber, gorgeous. In my finished objects, I will tell you the color and all of that. But it just like really simply just splits down the middle. And I do this until I get to the end. Oh, and try not to get it all messed up and everything. And I can't do this with my puppy in the room because he likes fiber. I got this twisted up, so bear with me a moment. Well, I'm just going to continue to split it. And it just like real evenly splits. It's very simple. And of course this won't let me finish. How did I do this? Oh, of course when I'm doing my first little tutorial thing, I twist it up. Of course that would be what happens. Bear with me a moment so I can get this untwisted. I had this wound up and silly me, I thought it would unwind easily, but it didn't. So I'm going to continue to try and split it. This is not how it normally goes, folks. Like I said, of course, when my first attempt at doing some type of tutorial would end like this. So, it's coming around, it's coming around. Okay, there's the end. So, just keep splitting, and these will all, it'll work out. So, I take one portion of this, and I roll it back up, and hope that the next time I work with it, it doesn't twist on itself again like that just did. But I roll it up, and I put it aside, because pretending that this is half of it, that's what I do. It goes aside, and then I take the other part, and if this was half of the braid, I would then split it again. And, not everybody does this process. Some people will just take the braid and open it up and start spinning. Well, it doesn't work for me. Or maybe if I tried it, it might, but oh Lord, I'm so twisted up. There we go. Okay. One more untwisting here. This is so crazy. I can't believe this happened. Okay, so if this had been a whole braid, I would then again split it. But this is 1/4 of the braid. And so I always pre-draft. I figure that it's one of the, you have to figure out what do you call it? No, I'm out of words. Okay, I just might cut all of this out because how long your staple length is. So you could pull it out, and there you have a piece that's probably, I would say 4 to 5 inches is the staple length of this. So I'm gonna put it back in, whatever. And so then you kind of space your hands accordingly, and you start pre-drafting, and you pre-draft. You just keep going down. And you get to know your fiber when you do this. You get to play with it and get to know it. You don't have to be real gentle. I try to, because it's like when you're peeling an apple, you want to peel. And some people make it a contest to see if they can get the whole apple peeled in one full swoop. Well, you know, I try not to break it so it stays in one full piece. But if it breaks, it's okay. If you make a mistake and it gets too thin, it's okay. It's fixable. You can join it rejoin it as you're spinning. So I'm just kind of pre-drafting. It's beautiful and wonderful. And you get to see, there's a little piece there that I probably did too much, but I'm not going to worry about it. When I first started doing this, I worried about it. I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. But the fiber is very forgiving. As see, I broke it. Not a full apple peel this time, but it'll be okay. It really will. Gently, gently, gently. I hope this, oh, shoot. Of course you're going to do this since you're embarrassing me. Stop embarrassing me. So, you know, however it works for you, that's how you do it. Some people, like I said, don't even ever pre-draft. I enjoy this part because you get to look at your fiber, touch your fiber, get to know the fiber before you spin it. So you pull it out. See how far that is? What's the deal? You just pre-draft it. This color is called Slice of Lemon Over a Golden Brick. It's a Polworth from Yarn Geek Fibers. I bought it at Knit and Caboodle. I don't even know if they're still open. Haven't been down there since the last time. So I'm getting to the end. And so, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh, so pretty. And then you just kind of go back and you just go again. That's what I do. Just kind of go back and get the pieces that you didn't quite do before. And you just get to know your fiber and open it up. Part of this pre-drafting is just to get your fiber ready for spinning, and it opens up the fibers and just kind of makes everything go a little better. Oh, there's another one. So, and you know, like I said, I am not experienced enough to now sit down at the wheel and show you how to like fix the breaks. But there is very simple to join your fibers once you're spinning. I recommend finding. Well, I actually recommend the YouTube that I watched and learned. Did I already do this? I don't know. The podcast, I did do this one. That I watched and learned how to do most of the stuff is, and I mentioned it before, Knitting Blooms has an awesome video on beginning to spin with a wheel. very, very good. She recommends, you know, doing treadling, getting to know your wheel, and then advancing some just regular already yarn, you know, yarn through it to learn how to feed the material through. It's very good. And like I said, I learned how to do this processing of your fiber just by watching a YouTube video. And on Knitting Bloom's video on beginning, she shows how to join your fiber again. If you want to break it to, so I'm going to probably spin this later. But she shows you how to connect it again. Anyway, I hope that was a little informative, but not too disgusting to you seasoned spinners. But I just thought I would share. Maybe somebody would get something from it. And here's the other thing. Please help me if I'm doing something wrong. You seasoned spinners, you know, comment, give me hints, tell me what to do. This is how I do it, and this is what works for me. And I also have heard that, you know, there's not a one definitive way to spin. Whatever works for you is the way to spin. So that's my story for the week. Hang on just a minute. I forgot to make a setting, and I don't want my computer to die on me in this process and make me all flustered even more. So there, I did that. Go away, you. Okay, so that's my story, and now we're gonna move to the finished objects. And I have some finished objects this week. Yay! So I have a hoe, which is the fiber, the Polworth. It's certified organic hand-dyed, 22 microns, 4 ounces. I don't know what that means, what was 4 ounces, but it's from Yarn Geek Fibers, and the colorway slice of lemon wrapped around a golden brick. So here is the other half of that fiber. This is how it's spinning. This is how I'm spinning it. You can see how the colors, I'm quite anxious to put this together and to see how it's going to turn out. This might be something to knit in the winter to help you get through the bad things, because it's so pretty and sunny and delicious. Okay, I also finished my pouch. There goes my bobbin. Comedy of errors today. So I finished my pouch. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this. It's crocheted from just some scrap red heart yarn acrylic that I had. This is my own recipe. I just, you know, did a chain and then did single crochet and then half double crochet around and around and around until I got to where I wanted it to be. And then I crocheted the flap back and forth. The button is actually a wooden bead that I wire wrapped and made into a button. I did a couple. Let me get my other one out here. So I just experimented. Like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw these pictures. Here's another one that's a button. So it's actually a wood bead, And I wire wrapped it and made a little, you can't really see, I'm sorry. You make the little loop to do the button, and that's this one. So this bead, the hole went side to side like this, so that made it convenient. Well, this one, the hole goes through here, so I had to put the wire in, bend it back, and then make my loop. But I like the square button better on this bag, and I also lined the inside with some cotton sparkly fabric. Next, and I didn't do very good, so the next time I make one of these and line it, I think what I'm going to do is make a little decorative stitch so that it makes it look better. Not so. And another kind of half thing, I made this pouch, but when I went to put it in here, it didn't have enough give. It wasn't big enough, so I learned that I needed to make the inside a little bigger than it actually is so that it'll stretch and fit other things in it. Just my little discovering. I really like this. I think this would be good if you want to carry a paper book in your purse and you didn't want the edges to get all frayed. It'll fit in there. See? And it's got room for other things. You can put, I kind of made it as big as my iPad would be without the case on it. So my iPad Air would fit in here without the case on it. So, you know, put whatever in it. I'm thinking about putting this on my Etsy shop because Ted doesn't think I need any more bags. I have enough bags. He just doesn't know I don't have enough bags. So, anyway, I'm pretty proud of this. I think it turned out nice. So that is all the finished objects and the works in progress. I'm not going to go according to the show notes because this is sitting right here. I'm still working on it. This is, like I said, my hand spun. Some of my first hand spun with my ladybug. This is, the pink is the fiber that I got with my spinning wheel. The blue is from Utopia. This Utopia Fiber Farm from Troy, Missouri. I love the way these two fibers were really easy and nice to spin, and I'm knitting it, and the plan was for it to be another pouch, and I'm thinking that I want to try and felt it, but up here where the fiber is like really thin, it's like got holes in it. So I don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to felt this and make a felt pouch out of this and line it. So I'm enjoying knitting with my own hand spun yarn. And I like it. I like the way it's turning out with the little bumps and lumps and stuff. Also, I meant to mention last week, along with making these two things, you know, this has got two different colors of yarn, and then you have to join them, you know. So I was getting tired of, you know, the knots being in here, and I tried the magic knot where you put the two together and you tie this one, you tie this one, you slip it, and you know. I don't know how to link, so I would link it, but I don't know how. But anyway, that still leaves a knot. So I learned last week how to do a Russian join on this one. So that was kind of cool. A Russian join where it doesn't leave a knot, and it's a pretty strong joint on this one. And I wish I had, and on this one with the wool, I learned how to do a felted join. Exciting. I love that. So no knots where I had to join. I learned two new things, and I learned them from YouTube. So anyway, I have an extra pouch that I'm going to make a smaller something out of and line. With this one, I've got some really pretty other material that I'm going to do this with. Pouch, pouch, pouch. That's that. It lives up here. My garter yoke baby cardigan by Jennifer Howell. Free pattern on Ravelry. Still working on it. It's still not done. But progress. Progress. Life is busy in the wintertime. Look, last week I had this one done and this one started. Now this one is almost done. So there is progress. Progress, however small. I don't know how far I was, but I have made progress. Leading Man Fiber Arts, DK Weight, Superwash Merino in the colorway Royalty. I love this yarn. This is some beautiful and gorgeous, awesome yarn. The pink is Barocco Vintage DK, 50% acrylic, 40% wool, 10% nylon. The color is 21108. I'm knitting these on US 4 Addy Turbos, 40-inch circulars. One of these days, this sweater is going to be done. I like the color. I like the color a lot. So, that is that. Living in my Joanne Springs knit spin farm bag. She has an Etsy store, Knit Spin Farm. She sells bags and fiber. Well, I don't know what it's called. It's not bumps. She sells fiber. That she hand dyes and makes and cards and all of that. And my hitchhiker has had a little bit of love this week, not a lot. So it is a bot pattern on Ravelry by Martina Bem. Yarn is Barnett sock, 60% acrylic, 40% nylon. In the colorway, is Hippie Hot. On 2.75 Hias, 40-inch circular, and there it is. Here's where I started the last time I showed it, and I've made a couple. But remember, we're in the really long rows now, so there's a little bit of progress. I am on, I think, 35, teeth 35. I love the color. Can't wait for it to be done. So pretty. So pretty. I can't wait for it to be done. But it too will be done eventually. I like it a lot. This is some of my first ever sock yarn. It is the first sock yarn I ever had. My first sock was knit from this. My first socks. So, and I will have a scarf to wear with it. The same yarn. Knit Spin Farm bag, Joanne Springs. The Knit Spin Farm. And I have several bag buddies out there with the same bag. And I believe that is all. My vanilla socks have not seen the light of day since the last time you saw them. Hopefully when one of these other projects get done, I'll get that back out. Yep. Okay. We are up to my Pinterest find, which is 20 DIY home remedies that you had no idea existed, from BuzzFeed. Let me get to it. I thought it was kind of interesting, and I'll run through. Okay, come on. Where are you at? Pinterest. We'll kind of go through them fast, and you can find this on BuzzFeed, or you can look it up by the title on Pinterest, 20 DIY home remedies that you had no idea existed. BuzzFeed. So the first one is a bar of soap, allegedly, and let me just read the disclaimer. The disclaimer says, we have no idea if these actually work or not. This is merely a compilation of things a lot of people on the internet recommended. So, a bar of soap allegedly eases restless leg syndrome. One of the people said, I had the most restless legs last night, and the second I unwrapped the bar of soap and put it down by my feet, instantly the restlessness was gone. Okay. The second one is Earl Grey tea supposedly helps with sunburn. So what you do, you need a bathtub, you need a cloth that you're not afraid of staining, 3 bags of Earl Grey tea, they said black tea, a pitcher, you fill the pitcher with warm water, put your tea bags in, and you wait till it gets really black, the pitcher of tea gets really darkly steeped. Then you take off your clothes, you stand in the sink, in the bathtub, and you take the washcloth and put it into the tea, and you dab it on your sunburn. The trick is to let it dry on your skin. Don't wipe it off. You dab it on your sunburn. Let it dry, and they said just do as many treatments as you want. The more you do, the better, they say. So you put it on, dab it on, let it dry, dab it on again, let it dry. And you don't take a shower that night. You go to bed with the tea on you. And then when you get up in the morning, you could wash it off. It's supposed to like really, really help. So the other one, I had to read it because I was like, really? Tea? What is, I didn't know if you got in the bathtub, what? But yeah, it's, you compress. You don't rub it, you just dab it on your sunburn. It's supposed to really help and help you sleep good and take the burn out and help it heal faster than most. Okay, the next one. It says coconut oil is said to help earaches. This is number 3. It says warm up in a saucepan and use eardroppers to drop it in the affected ear. It says coconut oil has antibiotic properties, but olive oil supposedly works too. And there's a link. In most of these, there's a link that you can go and read more. Itchy mosquito bites, no problem. Rub a bar of dry soap on the bite for instant relief. Black licorice allegedly cures constipation. I went to the link, but it was just about constipation and laxatives. It didn't say anything about the black licorice, but it says the real black licorice has laxative qualities. A set of cold keys down the back of the neck supposedly stops nosebleeds. And it said in here, you can use whatever the cold metal. They said that you can press, drop a set of keys down the back of the shirt. The other one says to press a cold butter knife to the back of the neck. It says the temperature of the metal coagulates the blood. And then it says, according to an EMS manuals, this actually does work. The correct procedure is to use one hand to run the metallic object along the patient's spine while using the other hand to apply pressure on both sides of the bridge of the patient's nose. Okay, number 7. Listerine allegedly helps ease dandruff. And then it gives you a link to, I guess you wash, I don't know. Marshmallows ease sore throat. Plus it also gives you a reason to eat marshmallows. I like marshmallows. It says to put them in the refrigerator and eat them cold. And it's supposed to help. Someone says, it works. I tried it last night. And it also gives me an excuse to eat marshmallows. Okay. Number 9, baking soda might help remove splinters or shards of glass. It says to make a paste, put it on the skin, and it swells the skin and helps push out the splinter. Egg whites allegedly reduces fever. It says to soak your sock in egg white and put it on. It's supposed to instantly make your temperature go down. Some kind of colloidal silver eye drops might help with pink eye and styes. Drinking a baking soda solution allegedly eases urinary tract infection, and the recipe is 1/4 teaspoon of the baking soda and in 8 ounces of water and drink it up. So it says supposedly Alka-Seltzer works too. Here's the number 13. It says make a mud mask of kitty litter for gunky skin. And it says that kitty litter is actually a type of bentonite clay. So it's like a clay mask. And it gives you the instructions on how to do it. Membrane of an eggshell is said to stop bleeding. You put it on the open wound and add pressure. And it just like closes it off. Cayenne pepper is supposed to stop bleeding of small wounds. Number 16, shaving cream and Listerine could soften cracked heels. It says to rub the shaving cream on your foot, soak a hand towel in a solution of equal parts warm water and Listerine, wrap the towel around your foot and let it set for 30 minutes. And then it says, after 30 minutes, use the towel to rub your feet. Some of the calloused and discolored skin will rub off. And it says, after this, apply lotion. Generous amount of lotion. 17, eating olives during motion sickness. It says that they contain tannins that dry the saliva induced from the onset of nausea. It says pop an olive when you first start feeling sick. And then there's a link to read more. Duct tape might help with warts. Vapor rub allegedly eases nail fungus. And it says get directions here. I didn't look at that. Number 20. Whipped egg whites supposedly make eyes less puffy. And it's optional to add witch hazel to the mix. You'll whip up the egg whites until they're stiff and then use a brush to apply them on your eyes. Add witch hazel to further the mix. Reduce the... And that is number 20 of the 20 DIY home remedies you had no idea existed. And maybe some of this will, maybe you can use some of it. I thought it was interesting. Now, onward to Stumble. And the Stumble this week is 12 tough truths that help you grow. And this is by Mark Charnoff. And it's on the website Mark and Angel Hack Life. Practical tips for productive living. And my dog is barking in the background. It'll be okay. Okay. The 12 hard truths. Everything is how it should be is number one. And it says, it's crazy how you always end up where you were meant to be. However, even the most tragic and stressful situation eventually teaches you important lessons that you never dreamed of that you were going to learn. Remember, oftentimes when things are falling apart, they are actually falling into place. Not until you are lost in this world can you begin to find yourself. That is number 2. Number 3. It is usually the deepest pain which empowers you to grow to your fullest potential. It's scary, stressful It is the scary, stressful choices that end up being the most worthwhile. Without pain, there would be no change. But remember, pain, just like everything in life, is meant to be learned from and then released. I'm going to try not to read all of these because it's getting kind of long, but these are like really interesting and just things that make you just think about. Okay, number 4. One of the hardest decisions you will ever face in life is choosing whether to walk away or take another step forward. Number 5, you have to take care of yourself first. This says that before befriending others, you have to be a friend, your own friend. Before correcting others, you have to correct yourself. Before making others happy, you have to make yourself happy. It is not called selfishness. It's called personal development. Once you balance yourself, only then can you balance the world around you. So each of these kind of, like some of these say read cybernetics, gives you links. One of the greatest freedoms is truly not caring what anyone else thinks of you. That's number 6. Number 7, you may need to be a single for a while. Before you realize that, although the co-owned belongings of your failed relationships might not have been divided equally, the issues that destroyed the relationship likely were. For how can you stand confidently alone or see the same issues arise in your newest relationship and not realize which broken pieces belong to you? Owning your issues, dealing with them, will make you far happier in the long run than owning everything else in this world. Hard truths. Number 8. The only thing you can absolutely control is how you react to the things out of your control. Number 9. Some people will lie to you. Yeah, that's hard to take sometimes. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never have enough. And then number 11. Yes, you have failed in the past. Number 12. Everything is going to be all right. Maybe not today, but eventually. So I thought these were good, and there's a lot of reading that's like, maybe something you need to hear, maybe, something that's going on with you. But it's Mark Angel, Hack Life by Mark Charnoff. 12 tough truths that help you to grow. I'm sure you can type that in and be able to read that all just on your whatever Internet Explorer or whatever you use to search the web. 12 tough truths that can help you grow. Okay. That is the end of this extra long episode. I might be cutting some of that Fiiber stuff out, or I may just leave it in. So anyway, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your participation in the contest thread and on the Ravelry group. We actually, I wanted to mention, have 11 entries so far, and we have 2 more weeks. I also wanted to mention that on the end of the month, on the 31st, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might film on the 30th, or I might wait and just like have a week off, because that night, the 31st, we're leaving for Minnesota for a wedding that weekend. So I will keep you updated. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. Subscribe, comment, join the Ravelry group, all of that stuff. Have a wonderful weekend. This is not the weekend yet, but when it comes, have a wonderful one. See you next week. Bye.